friends, today we are going to study about the longest cell in our human body. Guess which one? Yes, they are known as neurons or nerve cells. They send and receive signals from your brain. Today we are going to study about its structure, different types of neuron, and at last its function. Neurons vary in size, shape and structure depending on their role and location. However, nearly all neurons have three essential parts: a cell body, an axon and dendrites. First, cell body. They are also known as soma. The cell body is the core section of the neuron. The cell body contains genetic information, maintains neuron structure, and provides energy to drive activities. Like other cell bodies, a neuron soma contains a nucleus and specialized organelles. It is enclosed by a membrane that both protects it and allows it to interact with its immediate surroundings. The second is axon. An axon is a long, tail-like structure. It joins the cell body at the specialized junction called the axon hillock. Many axons are insulated with fatty substance called myelin. Myelin helps axon to conduct an electrical signal very fast. Neurons usually have only one main axon. The third and the last are the dendrites. Dendrites are fibrous roots that branch out of the cell body. Like antenna, dendrites receive and process signal from the axons of other neurons. Neurons have more than one set of dendrites, known as dendritic trees. Their number is generally depend on their role. For instance, Purkinje cells are special types of neuron found in a part of brain called cerebellum. These cells have highly developed dendritic trees which allow them to receive thousands of signals. Now we will study about the types of neurons. Now we will talk about the first category of classifying neurons. In this category, the neurons are classified on the basis of the forms or structure of neurons. The first is multipolar neurons. These neurons have single axon and symmetrical dendrites that extend from it. This is the most common form of neuron in the central nervous system. The second is unipolar neurons. These neurons have a single axon, usually found only in invertebrate species. The third is bipolar neurons. Bipolar neurons have two extensions extending from the cell body. At the end of one side is the axon and the dendrites are on the other side. These types of neurons are mostly found in the retina of the eye, but they can also be found in the parts of nervous system that helps nose and ear functioning. The fourth type of neuron is pyramidal neurons. These neurons have one axon but several dendrites to form a pyramid type shape. These are the largest neuron cell and mostly found in the cortex. The cortex is the part of the brain responsible for conscious thoughts. The fifth type of neuron is Purkinje neurons. Purkinje neurons have multiple dendrites that fan out from the cell body. These neurons are inhibitory neurons, meaning they release neurotransmitters that keep other neurons from firing. Now we will talk about the second category of classifying neurons. It is based on the term of function, and scientists classify these neurons into three broad types, which are sensory neuron, motor neuron, and interneurons. First, sensory neurons. Sensory neurons help you to taste, smell, hear, see, and feel things around you. Sensory neurons are triggered by physical and chemical inputs from your environment. Among these, sound, touch, heat, light are physical inputs, while smell and taste are chemical inputs. For example, stepping on hot sand activates sensory neurons in your sole of your feet. These neurons send message to your brain, which makes you aware of the heat. Now, second type is motor neuron. Motor neuron plays a role in voluntary and involuntary movements. These neurons allow the brain and spinal cord to communicate with muscles, organs, and glands all over the body. There are two types of motor neurons, lower and upper lower motor neurons, carrying signals from spinal cord to smooth muscles and skeletal muscles. Upper motor neurons carry signals between your brain and spinal cord. When you eat, for instance, lower motor neurons in your spinal cord send signal to smooth muscles in your esophagus, stomach, and intestine. These muscles contract, which allow food to move through your digestive tract. Now, the third type of neuron is interneurons. Interneurons are neurical intermediaries found in your brain and spinal cord. They are the most common type of neuron. They pass signal from sensory neuron and other interneurons to motor neurons and other interneurons. For instance, when you touch something sharp like cactus, sensory neurons in your fingertips send signal to interneurons in your spinal cord. Some interneurons pass the signal on to motor neurons in your hand, which allow you to move your hand away. Other interneurons send a signal to pain center in your brain and you experience pain. Now, we will talk about the third criteria of classifying neurons, which is on the basis of presence and absence of myelin sheath. So, on that basis, the neurons are classified into two types. First is myelated neurons and the next is non-myelated neurons. In myelated neurons, the neurons in which axon is covered with myelin sheath, and non-myelated neurons are the neurons in which axon is not covered by myelin sheath. Now, we will talk about the functions in neuron. In neuron, specialized projections called axon allow neuron to transmit electrical and chemical signals to other cells. Neuron can also receive these signals via root-like extension called dendrites and send to axon. Thank you. यदि मेरे वीडियो आपको अच्छे लगे तो वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए, उस पर कमेंट कीजिए और मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए।